Okay, and welcome to the 100 Days of Python Coding Challenge. And this is day 23. If you want access to the entire list, or if you want to see the part one of this project, you can go to my website at bmosley.com/hdp. There's a link in the notes for this video. And we're actually picking up where we left off from day 22 in the grocery list app. And now we are going to do the add and remove items functions to this list. We have completed the list items. So now we are going to define a couple more functions here. And I'm just going to go ahead and collapse this one just to get it out of my way. And so it's time to create the next function, which will be the add item function. So def add item. And I'm going to give the list again, li main. I'm just going to call the list li main inside the function. So this is the name that list will take inside the function, and then we will send it back out. Now the list name outside the function is lig. This is the global name that will contain our list. We give it a different one inside the function so we can tell them apart easily. So now that we have that, we're going to say str item equals input. What would you like to add? Okay, so once we have the item entered, the user has given us the name of an item. We want to append that to the list. So we're going to say li main dot append, and we're going to say str item. So that gets added. Then we want to sort the list, main dot sort. So we're going to sort it. And then what we want to do is we want to print the new list. So we're going to use actually this function up here, list g. So we're going to say list g, and we're going to give it li main because that's the new and updated and sorted with the new list item. That's the new list inside this function. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to return li main back to the main program. This sends it back. So we need to have something to catch it on the other side. So when we call this function right here, we're not just going to say add item like this, lig. That would appear to work, but what we need to do is we need to actually, when this returns the new list, we've got to catch it. And we're going to catch it in the same container that it belonged in before. So we're going to say lig is equal to lig after we've added an item to it, if that makes sense. So let's run this and take a look and see how it goes. So let's add an item. What would we like to add? Chips. And now we have apples, chips, eggs, and milk. You can see they're sorted in alphabetical order with new indexes and that sort of thing. So far, so good. And let's not do anything else yet. We've got one more thing to take care of, and that is this one here, item 2, which is the, of course, remove an item. So when we want to remove an item, we're going to do something similar to the add item. We're going to create a new function up here, remove item, and again, li main inside the function. We're going to use that as a parameter so we can pass that list in and out of that function cleanly. So we're going to do str index equals, we're going to say, what's the prompt? We're going to do input, what is the index of the item to remove. Okay, so we're going to do that. And before we do that, we need to list the groceries so they can see what's there with those items, li main. So we're going to list the groceries again. Then we're going to ask them what to remove. And then we've got to make sure that the index is valid. Now, on this one, what we want to do is we want to make sure first that they're entering a number. And the easiest way to do that is to say if str index is numeric. Okay, if that comes back as true, then we're in good shape. If it does not, else, then we're going to say print you must enter a number. Okay, so what we need to do is we're going to put this in a while loop inside this function. So while true, and we're going to indent all of this. And so we're going to keep asking them until they get it right. So if it's numeric, then you're going to let them go on. If it's not numeric, then we won't. We won't check to make sure that it's an item that actually exists in the list. It will cause an error if they choose something that's outside the index of items that exist, but we're not going to go too deep into that just yet. There's a way to check and make sure that works, but we're just going to assume that they enter a correct number here. So if it's numeric, then we're going to say, so first thing we want to do is remove the item. And the command that we're going to use for that is the delete function. So we're going to say delete, and we're going to say li main, and we're going to give it str index. But we need to make sure that that is the right data type. So we're going to say int index, and right here, because we've checked to make sure it's numeric, we're going to say int index equals int str index. So we're converting it to an int, and then we're going to use it there to delete the item. And that is a way we could do it. But there's a better way. Rather than using delete, which just deletes it, we're going to use something called pop. And I'm going to say str removed equals li main dot pop, and then I'm going to use int index there. And what that means is it means take out whatever is at this position in that list. It's going to say pop, and whatever it removes from that list, it will remove it, but it'll put it into this variable. And then we can say print and little f string in here, and we can say you have removed str removed from the list. And remember, we're in a while true here. So the last thing we have to do is print break. And so once we've done that, we're out of the loop, which means we have one more thing to do, which is return li main back to the program. So that will work. And wait, should we have to sort it here? No, we don't have to sort it here because removing a list doesn't change the order of the rest of the items. So they're still sorted correctly. A little bit of a trick question. And if we wanted to, we could present the new list back to the user. I think I'm not going to do that this time. And so what we're going to do is, just like before, we're going to say lig, and we're going to say remove item lig. All right, let's see if our grocery list app works. So we're going to add an item, chips. There is our list. Yes, I do want to do something else. Let's remove an item. Here's our grocery list. What is the index of the item that we want to remove? Let's remove milk. I have removed milk from the list. Yes. Let's review that list one more time. List items. There is my new list, still alphabetized, minus milk, and no, I'm done. And that is a very basic way to create a grocery list app. Now, the downside to this app is that it only stores the list as it is while it's running. A little bit further down the road, we'll learn how to save data to your computer and allow the user to have an app that when they quit the app, it doesn't lose all the data, which of course is a basic function that we would want to include in any kind of production app. But for now, we've learned how to use parameters where we're passing the list in and out of a function and returning it using return values. And we've learned a few things about managing a list. So that's a productive project for now. And thanks for coding with me today. We'll see you next time.